So I got the quick 10 here. So this is just a list of, 10 things I'm just going to quickly go through. It's going to be 10 current events, but no, just the quick 10, okay? Don't question me. It's the quick 10. So the quick 10, number 1, Andrew Yang breaks down and cries. I want to talk a little bit more about that. But essentially, he was thinking about his own kids being victims of gun violence when a mother had told him at an event that her child was killed by a stray bullet. And he couldn't compose himself, but he let it, just exist and be raw, and he just kind of cried in front of everybody, and then he explained himself. So that was a good moment for Andrew Yang. Number 2, there's an anti-BDS bill that came up. So the anti-BDS bill, this is last month, but Tulsi Gabbard is going to vote for it. In fact, all the House of Representatives, 393 versus 17. So the BDS, right? That poor guy, the BDS movement, all the tactics are fine. Israel is deserving of those tactics. They just need a different person leading the BDS charge, and we have different people. We got Rashida Tlaib, we got Ilhan Omar, we got Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. They voted against it. 5 votes were present only, including Justin Amash. So Justin Amash, and then 1 Republican. And this tickles me a little. I like this. Thomas Massie voted no too. So 1 Republican out of all America says, you know what, BDS, boycott, divest, sanction, Israel, nah, they need to stop their shit. So Thomas Massie voted no. So this just a, condemn it, just a resolution to condemn BDS, the boycott, divest, and the sanction movement against Israel because of the crimes that they're committing against the Palestinians. And, it's just a resolution, but it's symbolic, because if all of America, 398 versus 17, so that's essentially all of America right there. So, in terms of what the world sees, it's clear we stand with Israel no matter what they do. Number 3, Hillary Clinton served on the board of Walmart. Just want to remind you all that. A piece of dog shit would have done better than Shitler in the 2016 general election against Donald. You could have had dog shit run against Donald Trump, and that would have gotten more support than Hillary fucking Rodham Clinton. So Hillary is a shitty dog shit candidate until the Democrats realize that. They're going to continue to blame Russia, blame WikiLeaks, blame James Comey, blame everybody but themselves. Number 4, $2.5 billion is going to go to Trump Wall from the defense spending, not the $8 billion he had demanded, but Arizona, New Mexico, California are going to get pieces of the wall. Arizona, New Mexico, California are going to get, a piece of the Trump wall. This was a 5-4 ruling, Supreme Court 5-4 ruling. He actually picked 2 Supreme Court justices, so that's nice, right? If you get to pick them early in your term, and then you get to get all the rulings, right? If the other 2 just switch 2 votes, just switch 1 vote, and you have, the court goes the other way. But he's got 2 of his people in there, and it broke down along partisan lines. So fantastic, right? He gets to use military. So who's going to pay for the wall? The U.S. military. Number 5, Omar Ilhan has her own resolution to support the right to boycott and to boycott for the advocation of human rights abroad. So Ilhan Omar is going to protect the First Amendment in regards to boycotting, divesting, and sanction in order to advocate for human rights abroad. Of course you're allowed to do that. This is America. Why would anybody vote against something like that? Joe Biden, I didn't mention this one line about how he just loves the police. He has the crime bill, the 1994 crime bill. The police are good, but to have, like a love for Israel, just an overwhelming love that no matter what crimes they commit, you're just fine and dandy with this shit. This is insanity. So Joe Biden, not only does he have all those crime bills, but he also supported the Patriot Act, which shredded the 4th Amendment on NSA wiretapping. So, I don't know if you knew about that, but yes, Joe Biden was in favor of all those Bush-era measures, Iraq War, Patriot Act, Homeland Security, right, crime bills. If it's a Republican thing, Joe Biden loves it. If it's progressive, he's going to run away from it. So, blueberry pies, there's a man in Colorado said that he was about to shoot up a school, and then later on, he's an old man now, but later on, he was, just speculating when he was in that condition, and he was pissed off, and he didn't have a good home life, and he's poor, and he had no friends, and he'd go to school, and people would pick on him. I guess he was kind of chubby. And then eventually, you know, he's losing his mind, and he's about to lose his shit, and eventually some kid invited him over to have a blueberry pie party. And the blueberry pie party just, you know, it made him, it was a world of difference. It went from, you know, him not being, feeling included to him feeling loved. So, you know, some people want to say, oh, that would never work, because you're a fucking asshole. You'd rather do asshole shit. So, to show love, to have a blueberry pie party for somebody else, and that was good of that, you know, kid to have recognized that. It was good that she empathized with him, saw he was having trouble, and you said, well, you know, I bet he's okay. You know, I like him. He seems all right. I'll invite him over. And he got to have friends, and, you know, it was a good time had by all. So what's the solution for gun control? Blueberry pie parties, and electing Bernie Sanders as our new president. Just as a curiosity, why can't we put a Jewish county up in Montana and have a Muslim homeland in, you know, someplace over in Georgia? So just have a Jewish county, Muslim homeland. We got private property here. So really, if you own private property, isn't that a Jewish homeland? That's literally your home. That's the land your home is at, and a Muslim homeland too. So you have all this, you know, shit going on way the fuck over there. Meanwhile, we have, you know, a multicultural, pluralistic society, plenty of space, plenty of room. So I'm just spitballing ideas here, but why can't we have a Jewish homeland or a Muslim homeland in these United States? We got 1,000 islands. We could pick one of those islands. I mean, my God, you got Puerto Rico, right? You got Guam and, you know, Guantanamo Bay. Israel's the size of New Jersey, so we could just give them another, you know, partition. Just give them New Jersey. I mean, Jesus Christ. What the hell have we done with New Jersey anyways? We haven't done anything good with New Jersey. Just give, you know, if we love Israel so much and we want them to be free and safe, give them New Jersey. They'll be fine over here, right? They'll be fine. They won't have to kill Palestinian kids no more. They might pick on the people of color in New Jersey, though. They'll probably be racist, too. I bet that shit in Kashmir has to do with Israel-Palestine, too. Because two countries, you know, if they don't get along with each other, then they can war and war and war until the cows come home. Just keep on warring. Who gives a fuck, right? Just keep on warring. So Kashmir, India takes over Kashmir. It's going to piss off the Muslims. Why can't we all get along? Why can't we live in a nice, you know, one country, a nation state? Utopia is impossible. We do it here in America. Utopia, if that's a utopia, that's not, you know, that's not out of bounds. That's not out of reach. We do it here. We have freedom to religion, so you get to be whatever religion you want to, but the government cannot endorse or sanction a religion. That's why you don't have, you know, just Christian schools, just Christian 10 Commandments, just Christian God all over the public school system, because the government isn't, they have to maintain neutrality. They got to maintain neutrality. So that would be good for Israel to do that, to have a secular democratic state. It's also good for Kashmir to do the exact same thing. So, because we're not solving this fucking Palestine-Israel crisis that's been going on for fucking decades, it's putting a stink on the entire fucking world. We're supposed to be the good people. We stand up for morality and justice and what's right, truth, justice in the American way. And how come we can't, you know, seem to... Israel, we give them $4 billion. That's our ally. That's our pit bull. We don't have any influence with Israel. Hey, Israel. This is just, you know, from an American to Israel. We give you all that fucking money. Can you knock it off with the killing of the Palestinians? Can you work towards either, you know, establish a two-state solution permanently or having one secular democratic state? Could y'all work on that? Either do one or the other, have a crystal clear policy, because this apartheid, open-air prison, military checkpoints, blockading, starvation, starving, slowly genocide, a slow-moving genocide for the open-air concentration camp that is in Israel. That's how they're treating the Palestinians right now. And the only way that you can't understand Israel and Palestine is if you're a racist piece of shit. If you're a racist piece of shit, then you will say that the Palestinians don't deserve life. Actually, you know, in this country, people really don't give a shit about anybody. So it might not just be racism, it might just be a bunch of psychopaths who just don't give a shit about people. $22 trillion in debt, right? So good thing Trump got all those billionaires, those tax cuts. Now we got $5 more trillion in debt. 40 million are poor in America, 500,000 are homeless. 80,000 Americans have no health insurance or they're underinsured. And, you know, of course, Palestinians, Iraqis, Mexicans, you still got, you know, lots of brown people. White America continues to kill brown babies all over the world. They kill white babies, too. They're killing, you know, pretty much all babies. Just, if you get in the way of the American empire, just watch out. Nobody's going to hold them accountable or us accountable. You know, watch the fuck out. I don't know what else to tell you. Maybe North Korea, they figured out a solution. Russia and China, they've been able to figure out ways to keep us from entering into their country. So perhaps, you know, if you're a third world country, you could take a lesson from, you know, these awful authoritarian countries, but you got to defend yourself, right? So if, you know, U.S. invades you and nobody comes to your defense, you have to protect yourself. If you're not strong enough to protect yourself, then that means that's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. So, yeah, the economy isn't doing as great as they want to say. A lot of people have no insurance, a lot of poor people, a lot of homeless people, a lot of debt. Yeah, good job, Republicans. $22 trillion in debt, and they want to sit there and say Bernie Sanders is the bad part, you know, the guy that's bad at math. I don't think he bankrupted 4 countries, and then Scaramucci's right. Donald Trump turned on Scaramucci. Donald Trump turns on everybody. He turns on everybody. Donald Trump isn't loyal to anyone but himself. He demands loyalty from others to him, but he's not loyal to anybody. That's why you're fired, you're fired, you're fired. He fucks everybody over. So Scaramucci says first he'll turn on you, then he'll turn on the country. That was Hitler. Hitler started out maybe by, you know, doing shit that the country wanted, but then Hitler was a suicidal piece of shit. He was a stupid, suicidal piece of shit that was able to, you know, essentially get the masses to, you know, cheer him on. And then when everything was all lost, Hitler could have, you know, signed a peace treaty. He could have just, you know, worked it all out. And, you know, instead of just letting it just be unconditional surrender and wiping him out. But instead of doing that, he just said, fuck it, I'm going to commit suicide. Hitler wouldn't even fight for himself. The Hitler Youth, they felt like, you know, they were going to keep fighting until the end. Meanwhile, Hitler is sitting in a bunker, you know, underground somewhere, taking cyanide capsules, and probably had someone shoot him. He wasn't even brave enough to kill himself. And so, you know, essentially what I'm saying is that Adolf Hitler was suicidal. Adolf Hitler attacked Russia and the United States at the same time. Adolf Hitler did not give a shit if he, you know, declared war on the entire world. He was going to take on the entire world all at once. And so that's stupid, but it's also suicidal. So when they sent, you know, all them Germans into Russia and there was a big massacre there, he sent in, you know, Germans all over the place to get, you know, to expand his regime, to expand his sphere of power, but to sacrifice their lives for them to die. So he was suicidal. He didn't mind sending all these other people out to fight and die on his behalf while that coward sat in a bunker with a thumb up his ass, scared to fucking death of actually standing up for, you know, the causes that he made his entire country stand up for. Yeah, Hitler, what a fucking warrior, huh? What a great, he only had one testicle. He was traumatized by World War I and by child abuse. He was a psycho and he was suicidal. And so the suicidal Hitler took Germany on a suicidal journey and almost wiped Germany out. Germany almost, there was talk of not reestablishing Germany. Just give, you know, Germany to the Jews. Why would the Jews take Palestine? That was the Muslims. It's been the European Christians that have been persecuting the Jews. So just give the Jewish people all of Germany. Here you go, Jewish people. You get all of Germany. Everybody that was persecuted. So, you know, the communists and the trade unionists and the, you know, everybody. Give Germany to the Jews instead of punishing some other nation. Peace, America.